congratulations. Wow, this movie knocked me on my butt. Like from the sound, the
yeah.
Oh my God. That's your dad. That's your dad. Hello. Najor? Is that right? Najor? Right? Yeah. I tried my best.
Language already.
I tried my best. You're very scary. Good for you.
Bye,
I'm so happy for you. Jesus. So I do want to talk about the physical aspects.
Racing.
I know, right? That got me. But you know the action design is so incredibly inventive in this, and you know I'm curious for you, Dimitrius, like. Your face is gonna be covered in the end, but how important was it for you to like do all the stunts or like get involved with as many of the stunts as you could?
I mean, I love that kind of stuff, you know, just being able to be physical and, you know, just use my body as much as I can. I think it's the most stunt-heavy film I've ever done. I've never had to be as physical in any kind of role or capacity before, so yeah, kind of testing the waters and seeing if I could actually, you know, do something like this for a long period of time was a challenge for myself that I wanted to, yeah, just see if I had the chops for it, you know. But yeah, I loved it, man. It was such an enjoyable process. Even the stunt training, we had like about a month with Jake Tamori's team, doing the fight choreography, learning, you know, how to wield the weapons, building the character, like. Yeah, it's just all things that I've never had to do. So I was just very, very grateful for the experience, and yeah, I was just really happy I got to jump in there and do the things. It was fun.
Was there ever any hesitation on taking on the role, knowing that your beautiful mug would be covered?
No, man, because to be honest, this is such an iconic character.
Yeah,
you know, it's a character that not a lot of people get to say that they've played, and yeah, it's known worldwide. You know, it's like the craziest places you wouldn't even think they watch the Predator. It's like, oh, they'll see it, and you know, they're like, oh, Predator. So it's an honor to be able to step into these shoes and portray this character, especially in a story that's so different, you know. And,
Deck's journey is like a perfect hero's story. I genuinely loved watching him, and you brought out so much emotion through the facial expressions and just the way you carry yourself. So kudos to you.
Appreciate that, man.
Elle, I do want to talk Thea and Tessa. I think it's, you know, like it's not new to see people playing multiple roles, but you are such a good actor, and seeing both those characters kind of juxtaposed in the same scene just like solidifies and affirms it. Like you're so good at doing so many different things, but so nice. What's it like being your own scene partner? Yeah. Like what did production do to like make that easier for you?
I know, it's always I've always been curious how they do that, you know, and I've wanted to do that for a while. It's like a bucket list thing on, you know, the acting bucket list. And gosh, yeah, I mean, Dan and I, we really work to like make the characters, you know, really differentiate them and make them we wanted to make them as polar opposite as possible. There were actors that came in, even my stunt girls who, God, they were such a support on set, but Rosie and Abby, and they would step in and put the suit on and do kind of over the shoulders, and we would read together. So, you know, there's movie magic and movie tricks, but also you had to remember what you did the day before or how you were going to react, because also you don't know what take they're going to use. So it's very interesting. You have to kind of give a lot of different options, I guess, for Dan to be able to edit it together, because obviously when I am acting as Thea, someone else is being Tessa, but then if I played Tessa the day before in that scene, I'm like, okay, what am I reacting to? Let me try to remember what I was giving at that moment, you know? Yeah. So yeah, it was so interesting, but very rewarding.
Sounds complicated.
Yeah, complicated, yeah.
She pulled it off, she was amazing.
Dan's kind of hold on this series is certainly pointing in a direction that I'm excited to see. Cool. Just generally, like hypothetically, how many more projects are you guys attached to? like what's that conversation look like right now?
I mean, I love Dan, you know. Yeah. Dan is so brilliant, and I think the franchise is in the exact right hands, in my opinion. So I would love to work with Dan and Dimitrius again, for sure.
Same, man. It's it's a privilege to play Dick, you know, and bring him to life. And Dan is such a mastermind when it comes to, you know, these Predator films. He's breathing a whole new life into them, and it's so cool to see. So Yeah, man.
Yeah, congratulations, man. I'm so glad I finally got to see this after like being there at the edit bay and seeing it in fruition because it's so good. I want to talk about Genna and kind of playing with, you know, the Yautja have such great tech, but then you got to play with like live off the land, use the cave in a way, you know. What was the kind of the fun in like getting to like create an armory based on their version of Earth in a sense, you know?
One of the greatest moments of the entire development was figuring out that at the end of the movie he would be wearing one of the creatures as if he was rocking a shoulder cannon. Having that idea was like, can this movie come out tomorrow? You know, like I just was so thrilled, and that informed all. It was like once that came, it was like, oh yeah, not just that, the whole thing. He's got to become Dutch in the movie. Yeah, I was absolute thrilled to kind of invert the premise, and yeah. Yeah,
I mean the action design is absolutely insane in this movie. Super creative. So I thought, kudos to that and just how inventive you guys got. But
thank you.
I want to talk about also creature design because it's rooted enough in like an Earth creature that I can recognize like certain things that you're emulating. But what was kind of the balance of like we do want to ground it in something that's recognizable, but here's the sci-fi elements. This is where we get to play.
Right. It's really, really hard. It's really, really hard to design a creature, because we've seen so many of them and so many cool ones by this point. And oftentimes you find yourself like, well, here's this kind of a creature. What if we just like made it round here or boxy here where it's normally round or whatever? And it just becomes like, how can we just like defy shape language? And so I really tried to go back to like, what is the narrative demanding? And so like, for instance, there's a sequence that's set on a field filled with razor grass. So the creature that's in that field of razor grass would have had to evolve in a very specific way, and it would have to have developed armored on its hide so that it could graze, and something that a beak that protected its inner mouth to spread the grass. So everything is sort of based on what you would think the ecology or the evolution of the planet would create.
Yeah, totally. You know, I have to bring it up, but it does feel like there's some connected tissue here, and like things are converging. And you know, you've spoken before, but you know, you had Killer of Killers, you had Badlands, and there was a secret third project. Does the ending of this film kind of point towards that project, or is that something completely different?
That's something completely different.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm just so curious because there is like, you know, there's a glimpse of Naru in Killer of Killers. Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering, what is the stretch goal? What is the long game here, and how long till we get to see whether it's an event film or something? How does that process look?
In my mind, what made Avengers work was that it wasn't the first MCU movie, and it wasn't the second MCU movie. That we had spent time bonding with characters and their individual stories and making sure that those individual movies were cool and had interesting premises unto themselves. So if we were to ever do something where things collide, it would be after we've gotten to know and bonded with things in their own individual stories.
Yeah, someone mentioned that you're like the Kevin Feige of the Predator franchise.
Yeah.
How do you like receive a phrase like that?
I take that as a compliment because I think Kevin Feige is a genius, and what he created is unprecedented in the history of cinema. And I've just made a couple good Predator movies so far and hoping for a third. So we'll see how that turns out.
I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I have to ask one more time, are we getting Arnie back in any capacity in the future? Have there been conversations?
He appeared in Killer of Killers through a conversation, and it was a very fun conversation, and I look to have more conversations with him.